In this video, I give you an overview of Cubasis 2 on my iPad Pro 10.5 and see how it stacks up for mobile music production. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing Cubasis 2 here on my iPad Pro 10.5, and this is just to introduce it to my audience and to have a quick look at what it has to offer and what the impressions or my impressions are. And hopefully, as I dive deeper into trying to do music production on my iPad or on iOS in general, or just being mobile, I can find some little gems in here and find some new tips and tricks for you guys and pass on the information. As I learn, I'll share. So as you can see on my screen here, we've got Cubasis 2. It looks very familiar in terms of its layout. If you think about any other traditional music production software on the desktop, you've got like a Logic or Cubase. You've got Cubase on the desktop as well. I don't use it personally, but I've got Ableton and Logic, and this is very familiar. The layout, you've got your transport bar at the top, and you've got your media browser, mixer. Everything's pretty logical as far as I can see. I haven't gone too deep into it yet, but I will just show you a quick overview of what I can show you. If you have a look at the media tab on the top left hand corner there, they've got the projects icon down here at the bottom window that just loaded up. And here we've got a bunch of different templates, and you can create your own template and save it there. So I've just got one of them loaded up at this minute, and it's got a number of tracks in here, and as you can see, it's well fleshed out. So I'll just play a snippet of that now so you can hear what that sounds like. Okay, so as you can hear, that sounds pretty good, and this is Cubasis 2, one of the demos. So right now we've got the standard stuff here for channel strips. I'm just going to have a quick look at one of the channel strips here. Let's take, for example, this pop kit, the drum one, which is track 1. It has the corresponding strip options on the left hand pane here, and here we've got routing. If you're into that, I haven't really done any of that, so I can't really speak to that, but we've got the actual instrument itself here, and if we click on that drums icon, we have some controls, not very many, which I'm a little bit disappointed with. I'm not sure if I'm missing something here, but we've only got the attack and release, so that that we can play around with here, or we can cycle between kits. I'll just say use default. It's asking me if I want to use the default pads. Let's play this as a soloed track and cycle through some of the drum kits. Okay, so that's what those sound like. I'm going to just go back to the kit that was originally there. You can actually play some of the sounds on these 8 pads that they've got to the sides there, and then below that you've got some icons. You can actually switch between instruments and get various sounds, not necessarily drums. You can see the icons represent keys, strings, sax or brass instruments, and so on. So below the instrument itself, we've got the insert effects. So this comes with, as you can see, there's a compressor on there, which is switched on, and there's an EQ as well as a channel strip. So this is where you can basically run it through some of the standard things that you would do for just mixing. So compression, saturation, you can apply a filter, a low cut or a high pass, or a high cut, low cut, or you can do noise gates. So that's what that is just there. I'm going to switch that back off and show you what we've got here inside if you needed to load up another effect. So we've got a whole bunch of options here. Audio units, interrupt audio. If we hit interrupt, audio units, it should show you what's available to you. Nothing's loading up there. at the minute. If we go to this one for Interapp Audio, you see that 2 options are there, which are apps that I have separately installed. So these apps are compatible with this technology, so that's why they've showed up. And then you've got some Waves. If you know about Waves, you know that they're really good plugin developers. They make really nice mixing and mastering plugins traditionally, so you can't go wrong with them. These are purchases that you have to make, and these are packs that were made specifically for Cubasis 2, so you can purchase them for this DAW. Now if you don't want to use any of those, you can actually, let's see what this again, these are some more premium things you can purchase there, but the internal effects that it comes with are pretty sufficient for most things. You have your standard reverb, delay, EQs, compressors, limiter, noise gate, etc. You'll have your standard stuff there, and we also have send effects. So if you don't want to load up on the channel strips directly, and if you've got regular stuff like reverb and delay, you can send those out as well. Those are on that section there. MIDI effects, you can add some MIDI effects from within here. I've got none there at the moment. You can do automation, and then you can control the regular stuff on the channel strip, like faders, fader control, and mute, and so on. All right, so you can change the colors here of the track. So if you change this one here from a blue to, let's say, a green, we can see that the entire channel has changed, including the clips, and not just the label of the track. So yeah, that's what we've got there. If you wanted to rename, you just need to click on that top one there, and you can call it whatever you want. So yeah, that's that. If we go back to the media bit and we have a look at let's see the audio section here, we've got some drum loops that it comes with. I'll just sample some of those for you. We've also got some MIDI clips. So you have a bunch of different possibilities here with regards to how you can work. If we jump across the instruments, we have options here for various types of instruments, like acoustic pianos, sax. We have drums, as we've seen. What I'm going to do is basically jump into one of these channel strips here that has one of these channels that has a synth on it. And let's see this one here. Hear what it sounds like. What you can do is just select it, bring up keys, and you should be able to play from there. But I've got it muted right now, so let me just unsolo this track, and I should be able to hear this now once I start playing. And of course I'm using the iPad screen to actually play this back, so it's a little bit fiddly. What you can do if you need more space to see more keys, you've got this slider here. You can click and hold it to actually move from left to right to go up in octave or down, or you can hold on to the 2 handles. I find it's best to use 2 hands for this, or a finger from each hand, rather than try to pinch and zoom with 1 hand, because it can be a little bit tricky hitting the right points. Obviously, if you get it too close together, you won't be able to play properly. I do have a MIDI keyboard, but I don't have it plugged in, so that probably is the best way to go about playing on the iPad. But just for quick ideas and stuff like this, it's perfectly fine to be able to play on the iPad screen itself. Yeah, this is just for you to hear the sounds anyway, and I'm gonna cycle through some of these instruments as well. If we actually come out of this and go into the media section, we can have a closer look at some of the sounds that are in here. Well, in fact, you can see there's a bunch of different instruments. What I'll do is I'm trying to see if I can close down some of these options. These are all under one instrument. Here we go, Microsonic. That's what we're just playing from. It doesn't have a bunch of controls, too many controls on there, which I don't like, but maybe I'm just missing something. But if we look at the Minimoog, Minimoog, I wish. If we look at the Microlog, it's a synthesizer. It's their synthesizer that they include. You can sample the sounds that you before you load up onto the track on here. Anyone recognize that? Yeah, that sounds really spooky. I'm gonna load that one up. It's obviously not something that I need to use right now. Hopefully this is loading up. I think you just tap it, right? Let's see. Let's change to another sound. Let's go down. Obviously, this is a nice vintage bass. If you couldn't hear that properly, you need to have good headphones on or be on speakers, nice speakers. One thing I forgot to show you guys is the mixer. So here we've got the mixer itself. So we would just click on the icon here, and you can control all your tracks in the mixer here. Now this iPad is capable of loading up quite a few tracks without any issues, but you can freeze tracks if you have low processing power and so on, just like you can do on a traditional DAW software. So everything is pretty much here that you need to actually start with your productions. So hopefully this is this quick overview is okay for you guys. So yeah, so pretty much that's all I've got for you. I'm gonna start hopefully making some productions within here and try and work it out. So if you want to keep track of the videos that I have coming out, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, remembering to hit that bell notification icon, and do me a favor, hit that like button if this has been entertaining or useful. You know, if it's not been at all, then you know what to do. But I appreciate you being here anyway. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in another video sometime soon. Take care.